Oh, shucky ducky. Whack, whack.
What's up, my peeps? So the SummerSlam update is out right now. I think a lot earlier than a lot of people expected, because usually the pay-per-view updates, the big updates, come out the weekend of the pay-per-view, and SummerSlam ain't taking place tomorrow. It's not taking place this Sunday, but the next Sunday, so it's out over a week before the actual show airs on the WWE Network. So that's great. Now, a lot of people were like, yo, what's up with the SummerSlam Highlights event? It was an event, that was advertised for Friday, but it didn't come out. It was delayed, and once I saw that delay, I was like, oh, I think this event requires the SummerSlam update, because this is kind of like the other delays, where, for Backlash, for instance, we didn't get the actual Backlash event until the Backlash update came out. And since the Backlash update was delayed because of iOS and Android taking time to approve those updates, the event itself had to wait until the update came out. And now that the SummerSlam update is out, the SummerSlam Highlights event is in the game right now for you to complete, although I will say this, I was disappointed with the arena because I thought we'd get a brand new exclusive SummerSlam arena, but it's pretty much the Mattel Arena, which I like that arena. It's my favorite arena in the game, but I thought we'd get a SummerSlam specific arena for the SummerSlam event. It's pretty much the same arena as the Mattel and Hall of Fame one, although I think the ropes are different. They're white. Whereas in the Hall of Fame event and the Mattel event, I think the ropes were a different color. Not too sure though, but who really cares? I'm not here to talk about arenas. I'm here to talk about all the brand new stuff in the SummerSlam updates. Number one, of course, Eddie Guerrero and Doink the Clown, the two newest superstars. Eddie the Technician and Doink the Clown, the wildcard superstar. And they come into this game with some pretty good abilities. Eddie Guerrero specifically, he comes into the game with a brand new unique ability that fits Eddie Guerrero. That's perfect for Eddie Guerrero. Now, I'll start it off with Eddie, and by the way, I made sure to get a bunch of gameplay footage of both Eddie Guerrero and Doink the Clown and their finishers for this episode, because it's just fitting. I mean, they're the two brand new superstars. So with Eddie Guerrero, right off the bat, I was right about the 4-star version. There is a 4-star version, and it's the one with the I'm Your Papi t-shirts. The one that we saw during the gameplay with the black tights, that's the 3-star version. Is there a 2-star version? I don't know. I haven't run into one so far, but I have run into a 3-star and a 4-star. Stats-wise, he's not the best technician in the game, so he doesn't come into Mayhem in the SummerSlam update and steals the top technician spot. That still belongs to Randy Orton, but he's not the worst either. For instance, if you compare him to another good technician, Kevin Owens, who's not the best, but he's still a pretty good technician, Kevin Owens loses to Eddie Guerrero in health, so Eddie has more health, but Kevin Owens has more power. Compared to Randy, well, Randy beats him in both power and health. But that's just speaking of stats. What about the abilities? Let's go ahead and check out Eddie Guerrero's abilities. So it starts off with the brand new unique steal ability that Eddie has. This is perfect. I mean, come on, Eddie Guerrero, it's lie, cheat, and steal, man. So it is 84% chance to trigger steal after submission move. Speaking of submission moves, he specializes in submissions. That's actually unexpected. So at rank 5 out of 5, he deals 45% more damage when locking in submission holds. So going back to the steal ability now, that gets triggered after he locks in a submission move. So if you lock in that lasso from El Paso, there's a good chance that you trigger that ability. And what does that do? Steal opponent energy by 55% over 4.8 seconds. So this is kind of like an improved version of the exhaustion ability, which what that does is it depletes the opponent's energy. Well, in this case, not only are you depleting the opponent's energy, but you're taking that energy for yourself, of course, if you're playing as Eddie Guerrero. So this is an awesome ability, great ability for Eddie to have, great ability for Eddie to introduce into the game. Now, moving on to the second ability that Eddie has, this one's very familiar because it was in the game before Eddie came in, the Rage ability, 99% chance to trigger Rage after parry. What does it do? Increase damage by 42% for 13.4 seconds. So with a 99% chance to trigger this after parrying a charge attack, there's a very high chance that you go ahead and trigger Rage every single time. I mean, come on, 99% chance, there's only a 1% chance that it doesn't happen after parrying a charge attack. So another good ability. It's something that you trigger from your actions and you don't have to depend on the opponent hitting a move on you or reversing you or something like that. Now on to the third ability that Eddie has, and this one is the stun ability. 83% chance to trigger stun after submission move, so once again, another ability that gets triggered through a submission hold. So he really does specialize in submission moves, and this one, it stuns opponent for 5.4 seconds. So pretty much 2 of his 3 abilities get activated once you lock in a submission move. Now, I haven't played as Eddie myself. I've only faced off against Eddie, so I don't know if he's got a second submission move. Of course, we know about the lasso from El Paso. That's his finisher, but I do hope that he's also got another submission hold as a special or charge attack, because it would only make sense, especially when he specializes in submission moves and has 2 abilities that get activated after locking in a submission. So, what do you guys think of Eddie's abilities? I like him, especially the steal ability. But now on to the next superstar. And that is Chavo Guerrero. Yes, Chavo Guerrero, guys. Chavito. Just kidding, he's not in the game. The next superstar is actually Doink the Clown. So let's go ahead and check out Doink's abilities. Actually, now, before I address his abilities, I've got 2 things to bring up in regards to Doink. Number 1, I was wrong. So, in yesterday's video, I had a theory after seeing Doink the Clown's second finisher, Double Doink, where he pokes the superstar or the opponent in the eye, and then another Doink the Clown trips the opponent. And since it was a tripping finisher followed by a very long taunt, just like the Glorious Taunt and Enzo Amore's certified G finishers, both healing finishers, and also just like Goldust's healing finisher, which I forget the name of that, but I thought basically that a second finisher would be a healing finisher. Turns out, it's not a healing finisher. I actually went ahead and faced off against Doink and let him connect with the finisher, and yeah, it's not a healing finisher. So that kind of surprised me, but something else that surprised me is that Doink the Clown actually has a 4-star version. That's right, Doink the Clown has a 4-star version, while as, you know, some other superstars like Braun Strowman and Triple H don't have a 4-star version, Doink does. But hey, I like it. Like I said, I like Doink the Clown being in the game, just the fact that he can beat people up with a clown. And also, man, he probably has the biggest character model in the game. He's huge. I'm not sure about height-wise in the game, but just thickness-wise, he is bigger than the Big Show in the game. He's pretty big. I think it's mostly because of all the layers of clothing that Doink the Clown has in the game. But anyways, let me go ahead and go over Doink the Clown's abilities. First things first, he specializes in special moves, so whenever you hit a special move with him, you get bonus damage. So in this case, at rank 5 out of 5, it's 40% more damage. When it comes to his first ability, it is Dunce Cap, 100% chance to trigger Dunce Cap after opponent full energy. Deplete opponent energy by 150% over 3 seconds. Now, at first glance, this might seem like a brand new ability because of the name, but I'm pretty sure this is just a name change because by definition, what this ability does, it's the exact same as the Exhaustion ability, just with a different name. Now, this right here can get really annoying when you don't know what triggers it. So I was taking on Doink the Clown, not knowing his abilities first, and then I kept on noticing that whenever he'd get the Dunce Cap ability, my energy would drain, but I didn't know what triggered it, and I thought it was something that he did, so I was like, what is he doing that's draining my energy? I just couldn't get it, so it was super annoying. So this right here can be super annoying if you're taking on Doink and you don't know what triggers it, but it can be super useful if you're using Doink. So now, knowing this ability and what activates it, when you face off against Doink the Clown, you don't want to go ahead and get your energy full because then it's just going to get depleted. You want to have enough energy to where you can reverse the major stuff, but at the same time not full energy because then it just gets depleted, so what's the point? Moving on to second ability, Precision, 96% chance to trigger Precision after special move. So after you hit a special move, which is his specialty anyway, so you'll also get bonus damage, increased chance of critical by 100% for 13.7 seconds. Great ability. Now on to the third ability, Weakness, 98% chance to trigger Weakness after reversal. Decrease opponent damage by 43% for 13.3 seconds. So when it comes to Doink, he doesn't bring in any new abilities, but but the abilities that he does have are really good. I mean, the dunce gap one, even though it's triggered or activated by something the opponent does, it's not like, you know, the opponent has to hit a 10-hit combo on you or hit their signature move or something like that. It's just the opponent getting full energy, which is a lot easier to achieve and doesn't require the opponent dealing damage onto you. So I really like all his abilities, and between Doink and Eddie, I actually might give the edge to Doink in terms of just abilities. Now, back to the other brand new stuff, introducing submission matches. Get your opponents to succumb to your superstars by tapping out. So we already knew about this, but the thing is, at the moment, in all the events, I can't find any submission matches. I even went through story mode to try and find some submission matches, or maybe 3 versus 3 matches. Couldn't find any, although I did find Eddie Guerrero, which did help with getting some Eddie gameplay for this episode. Then after that, things happened in 3. Enjoy 3 versus 3 tag matches. Basically, you know, the announcement that we're getting 6-man tag team matches. Same thing here, we knew about this, but at the moment, can't find any 6-man tag team matches in the events. So if you're expecting to, you know, reunite the Shield Bros, you know, Superman Punch, Stomp, Dirty Deeds, maybe even a triple powerbomb, sorry to break it to you, but that's not happening, at least not now. Maybe tomorrow we'll get a 6-man tag event or something like that. But hey, we do know that, you know, it's here, just not an event right now, at least as far as I'm aware. And then a big unannounced one, now events are branched into multiple paths. Have fun earning bonus exploration rewards. Now, I don't know what these bonus exploration rewards are going to be or how they're going to differ from normal rewards, but as far as the multiple paths things, seems like we're going to be able to choose a path now to complete an event. Do you want to go through these opponents or this path to complete the event? So once again, with this, just like the submission matches and 3 versus 3 matches, seems like it's not active right now, but it is here within the game somewhere. Oh, and by the way, loving the brand new loading screen. Looks a lot better than the Y Family one. So that is pretty much it for this episode of Mayhem. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button down below, and on the screen right now you'll see 2 of my other videos, one of them being a Mayhem video and one of them being one of my WWE soundboard pranks. Speaking of that, by the way, the next one is coming soon. With that said, I'm out guys, see ya.